Good day! In today's video, we will be looking at the first cartoon appearance of that legendary supervillain, Diablo. So, alright, let's go!
Oh yeah! So, we start off with the Fantastic Four being lost in a forest in Transylvania. And that statement actually raises a whole lot of questions. Regardless, Reed Richards finally gets the idea to stretch above the trees and kind of see where they are, kind of gauge how they can get out of here, which seems like an idea that would have been really helpful like 7 hours ago. But it don't matter now, because Reed notices that they're very close to an abandoned castle. So, like a crazy YouTuber, they decide to investigate this abandoned place. But they very randomly bump into the mayor of the area, Baron Hugo, and he tells them to take off, This castle is no good. It's basically cursed and all that stuff. Get out of here! Huh, I guess I gotta do some work on my Transylvanian accent. So the good mayor invites the Fantastic Four over to his home, where he tells the story of the castle. It was owned by the villainous Diablo. This guy was horrible, right? Like, he's an alchemist. He created a lot of dangerous potions. He terrorized the people of the area. Like, my God, this guy is total evil, right? So 100 years ago, he was put in prison in his dungeons underneath his castle. But, for some reason, man, with these spooky stories, there's always some crazy prophecy, right? And for this story, today being the 100-year anniversary of Diablo being put in his dungeon, somebody stronger than normal men will help him escape. Wow, that's funny. The Thing's over here and he's stronger than normal men. You don't think he... No, man, no, Ben would never do that. Until Ben does just that. A ghost trail that kind of looks like a ghost worm basically squirms its way out of Diablo's castle and into Ben Grimm's chambers in the mayor's house. And this ghost worm totally hypnotizes the Thing. Follow me to this castle, break me out of here, and stuff like that. Which he does. So the rest of the Fantastic Four figure they need to go investigate Ben's whereabouts, and they follow his trail to Diablo's castle, where they find that Ben is actually really chummy with this Diablo guy. So chummy, in fact, that Diablo, with all his potions and all that kind of stuff, he is helping the Thing turn back into human form. And like Bon Jovi, he's halfway there, which I don't know how, man. Like, the Thing almost looks more terrifying like this. The only catch being, in order for Diablo to help Ben turn back into human, Ben has to agree to be Diablo's assistant for 1 year, which Ben agrees to, and he even attacks his friends of the Fantastic Four while they try to wrestle him back to sanity. So, unfortunately, with no other choice, the Fantastic Three leave. What? My God, man, like, Diablo has become a worldwide superstar. Everyone loves this guy, right? With his expertise in alchemy, he's created a whole bunch of potions for a variety of things, right? Like, he's created a youth potion, basically a fountain of youth. He's also created a potion that can turn barren lands into fertile, harvestable gardens. And even in the realm of national defense, like, he has created a paint that can withstand the attack from a missile. So, like, holy crap, with all that stuff, man, this guy is becoming, like, super powerful. Everyone from around the world is, giving him millions of dollars for his stuff. He's even amassed a small army. Like, holy jeez, he's unstoppable. Or is he? Well, kind of, I guess, no. So all of his magical wonders have turned into failures. None of the effects of his potions lasted really very long at all, including the Thing's beauty makeover, which has exposed Diablo as basically a fraud. Jeez, hey? He had 100 years in prison to do nothing but work on his alchemy potions. You think he could have worked out all the kinks, hey? But nay! I guess he was too busy playing Angry Birds or something. So seeing as Diablo has completely fleeced a whole bunch of people around the world, now is the time for the Fantastic Fantastic Four to step in, which could kind of be a problem in a way because Diablo still has a loyal army. An army which, well, I guess is not that difficult to defeat because Human Torch and Invisible Girl just absolutely decimate everybody there. Easy peasy. So far so good, but on this emotional roller coaster of a battle, Diablo gets the upper hand. After having the thing already imprisoned, Diablo is able to capture the rest of the team, so now he has the whole Fantastic Four collection. Best collection ever. But this don't last for long, nope, because the thing is pissed. He's been played like some bongos, and he breaks out of his glass confinement, to which Diablo completely freaks out. And Diablo runs away as fast as he can with the potential smell of urine following him. So yeah, Diablo, man, he kinda knows he's screwed, right? Like, he doesn't have the power to stop, the thing. So no matter how many times Diablo tries to get away, Ben Grimm always breaks through a wall and gets up in his face. Not only that, the rest of the Fantastic Four are freed as well. So man, Diablo is like, crap, none of my tricks are gonna work. I can't take on 4 of these superpowered people. You know what? I surrender. And he is politely led back into that same prison dungeon which he was in prior. Kinda sucks for him, but I guess he could just wait another 100 years till he can break free again. But, not wanting to take that chance, the Thing and the Human Torch completely destroy the castle, where they either trap Diablo in his prison forever or they possibly crushed him to death, which I guess is like a case of Schrodinger's cat, because we'll never know. But oh well, because with that is the end of this series. Fantastic Tale.
So yes indeed, another classic Fantastic Four cartoon episode! Pretty darn good, right? And so, yeah, that Diablo guy, eh? Pretty interesting, that guy there, So when you think of Marvel Comics and supervillains, Diablo usually is not near the top of the list. And well, I guess actually, that guy's kind of more forgotten than anything. When you're thinking of supervillains, you're thinking of characters like Doctor Doom or like Galactus, like superstars in the villainy realm. But Diablo, this guy does not ring a bell to me. I guess I read more X-Men comics than Fantastic Four, but still, I know who Doctor Doom is. I guess they all can't be zingers, eh? But, even still, kind of an interesting character, eh? An alchemist who's kind of a jerk. It's kind of funny, because he actually is a pretty good alchemist, right? He's not exactly a snake oil salesman. He does create and produce, what he says he will, but it just doesn't last. That's the only problem. For his formulas to create certain things, in itself is fantastic, but it's just not a perfect formula. So he is kind of regarded as a fraud, which I don't really kind of think is fair, man, because he actually did a bunch of stuff. It just, wasn't really good enough, I guess. But at the same time, he was in prison in his castle for 100 years. And he went into that prison, around, let's say, 30 years old. So he should have been 130 years old or so when Thing, broke him out of there. But he wasn't, right? He looks as young as ever. And I'm going to assume there was not 100 years of food, stored in that basement there for him. So if he can pop out of that prison, 100 years later and look like he hasn't even, aged a day, literally, maybe he does have some alchemy skills, hey? Geez. But even with that, it was actually pretty neat to see Diablo kind of unravel at the end when he knew he was totally licked. Most villains go down with a fight, but this guy was yeah, I can't alchemy my way out of this one. Also, couldn't we put him in a more modern prison? I'm sure we can have, 24-hour surveillance on the guy to make sure he's not screwing around, right? Who knows what he's doing underneath all that rubble there? Well, I guess he's potentially dead, but that's for another episode, kids. Yay! But other than that, my friends, we do have some more things to discuss, some behind-the-scenes things with this character and whatnot and all that kind of crazy-ass stuff over here.
And so, yes, Diablo. So, he first appeared in Fantastic Four number 30 in 1964. And as you may have guessed, this featured episode is a retelling of that comic issue. And pretty much a perfect one-for-one adaptation. Really well done. So in other episodes of this Fantastic Four series, they're also completely taken from the comic books as well. And for the most part, the story is very faithful to the comic. However, most of the time, like, a story is altered a little bit, here and there. Maybe some events are changed, or some events are omitted, or you have more than one comic issue jammed into one episode, stuff like that. But for this episode, it's like bang on! Nothing's changed, nothing's altered, really. But I guess, yeah, even with that, there's some small details here and there that maybe did not, translate to the episode. The main thing would be the longevity of Diablo. In the comic, Mayor Hugo did touch a little bit like they believed that Diablo had some magic going on with his age, or something like that. They weren't quite sure, So if you watched the episode and you never read the comics or anything like that, you wouldn't really know for sure why Diablo didn't age at all. The featured comic would give you a little bit of an idea, but this is something we would learn later on. So, in Fantastic Four number 307 in 1987, we learn that his real name is Esteban Corazon Diablo. Wow, like Diablo is his frickin' last name. That's kind of convenient, kind of like Victor Von Doom. But this Esteban guy, man, he was an alchemist in the 9th century. Like, he's frickin' old. He originally lived in Spain, where he learned all the alchemy that he could learn there, and with seeking more knowledge, especially about, like, immortality, basically, he moved to Transylvania, where he did indeed learn that secret. Pretty frickin' powerful, this guy, hey? But his story would kind of be altered a little later on down the road. In Fantastic Four number 18 in 1996, his backstory gets a little darker. The new reason as to why he has lived for so long is because he sold his soul to Mephisto. The Marvel devil. Apparently, his alchemy training can only take him so far on the pursuit of immortality, so he had to switch to more dark magic outcomes. And for that bargain, Esteban was given an incredibly long lifespan. Not sure how long, but at least like frickin' 10 centuries long. Jeez. So if you watched the episode and you wonder how the dude survived, well, that's how. So this guy, he is what he is, man, but he's not really all that remarkable, right? For all of his time in Marvel Comics, he's only made a small smattering of appearances here and there, throughout a lot of different titles. So he's still kicking around, so that's kind of cool. He's only made maybe 2 or 3 appearances, outside of the comics, in different TV series, maybe a video game or something. He is kind of forgettable, even to the point where one of his co-creators, the legendary Stan Lee, kind of had a bit of regrets, about Diablo, right? Who or what was he? We know his name, we know a bit of his story, but beyond that, he's not really a fleshed out character. He's good at alchemy, he could live, basically forever, and he's pretty smart. That's all you really need to know about the guy. I would dare suggest that a character like this would do really well in the golden age of comics, right? Back in those days, man, you didn't really need a whole heaping amount of stuff for a character. Him being a master of alchemy and having all these small little potions kind of doing whatever he needed, that's pretty cool. But comic book storytelling has evolved quite a bit, by the time we got to the silver age of comics. And a character that kind of one-dimensional and bland doesn't really seem to fit in this era. Characters have a lot more depth, they have a lot more kind of interesting powers, but if this guy's been around since the 9th century, I guess he's kind of stuck in his ways. But, yes, that's pretty much all I have on this guy. The basic skinnies on this guy is, basically the everything on this guy, so now you're all completely caught up. Yay! So with this, that, those, and the other things, I guess, that's it. Also, if you're interested, I created my own comic book channel, 215 Comics, and currently I have created my own cartoon series, The Adventures of the Density, and recently started a radio series featuring my newest character, Elastomorph, with more titles to come. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link up top here to that channel, and some links at the end of the video. Yay! Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.